The test tubes have been boiling for 5 minutes now, and it's time to get our final results. Remember that all of your results will be compiled in the table 2.1 on page 39. So if you remember, we already went over tubes 4, 6, and 8, which all tested positive for starch using an iodine test. I'll pull these test tubes out in order from the hot water bath. There's tube 1 and 2, which if you recall, those came from the sucrose solution. The next 3, test tubes 3, 5, and 7, all came from the starch solution. Now what's the difference? 1 and 2 represent sucrose at time 0 and 2 to 3 minutes of being incubated with hydrochloric acid. Both give you a positive result, but notice in the 2, the hydrochloric acid has broken down some of that sucrose, and there's a sort of red powder at the bottom. So both indicate a positive for simple sugars. The next 3 test tubes represent starch, and the starch has been left with the hydrochloric acid for different amounts of time. In test tube 3, recall how many minutes? That's time 0, so we should expect a negative result. We started with starch, not simple sugar. In test tube 5, that's 5 minutes with hydrochloric acid. So obviously that's not enough time to break any starch down. But test tube 7 represents 10 minutes of being, 15 total minutes of incubating or being hydrolyzed with hydrochloric acid, and we do have a positive result. So this indicates that hydrochloric acid was able to hydrolyze at least some of the starch, though not all of it. Record your colors and answer the interpretation of results questions below.